Well, hello, friends. Glad you could join us. Welcome to the second round of this Monkey Mafia Esports F1 season. We're here tonight at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for what should be a fantastic Grand Prix, nonetheless. I mean, if you've seen what just transpired in real life over this past week, we could definitely be in for some action today, especially maybe even some wet weather potentially. I don't know. We haven't loaded in quite yet. We'll find out in just a moment. And there we go. No wet weather here. But what I do have for you now is our starting lineup for this race. Now, it was interesting because it did give me two different uh, sets of things by the time we left the lobby and then went to the other. You know, the screen where, from the qualifying session to the end screen. I'll take you through what I do know, is that King Pro Player is going to be on pole. Ayahuasca second, Rapid Rhymer third, and Caesar fourth. Actually, that's a really good starting attempt from both the V carbs there, second and fourth. That is really good. We got Cam Tizzle sixth, Charlie Golf seventh, Taylor McKenzie eighth, Slayer Eyes ninth. 10th is Ronnie, 11th is Granny. A couple of back and forths here with the Aston Martin starting 9th and 11th. You got the Williams of Jacob in 12th, 13th Gab, 14th Anime Boy, 15th Monster in the Red Bull. Currently ongoing, my favorite gamer tag of anybody. Just on the coincidence of what team he drives for. I think that's fantastic. There'll be El Capitan in 16th. 17th will be that of Gatillo in the Sauber. 18th Gasboy, and the 19th will be JC Auto Labs in the McLaren. That was a really weird ping for a second. Never mind. So anyways, here, we've got 19 drivers looking to do their best here. Going to give it an absolute send into that first corner. Hoping so, at least. Remember, coming up in the recent schedule, we do have Saudi Arabia next time out. Jeddah, Corniche Circuit. That should be fantastic, that one. We've got Spain, round number 4. And then Las Vegas, round 5. Those are your next 3. A couple of really good tracks. They're very different from each other as well. Obviously, Jeddah, very tight and twisty, where Spain is I don't want to say an open track, but it's more of a... not standard. What's the word I'm looking for there? More basic isn't really it either. I don't know. You got Spain there, which is a more classic type circuit. I guess that's maybe the way to put it. And then you've got Las Vegas, the street circuit as well. Which, if you've never seen a race broadcasted at Las Vegas, whether in the game or the one that we did have in real life, that should be a great one. And remember, formation lap is on here as well, so we will get going. I'm assuming the majority of the grid going to be on the, not the softs, the mediums here. Certainly be my guess. Yes, so the majority of the top 12 has gone to the mediums. Slayerized has gone soft, along with Gab, Anime Boy and his Willy, Monster and the Red Bull, and then the two rounding up the back of the grid, Gasboy and JC Auto Labs have both gone soft. The only person to have gone hard for this occasion is our actual top of the table pole position qualifier, that of King Pro Player. That should be interesting there. He's going to have it. Thankfully for him, I will say this, it is a very short run down into that first corner. It's not like if you get taken off the line, it's going to be some sort of drastic occurrence there for you. I think the biggest thing for King Pro Player here is actually just going to be getting those tires up to temperature and then, getting a good start as much as he can. That is very, very important. I think if he doesn't do that, he could be in for a lot of trouble here. He's also surrounded by 3 very quick drivers of Ayahuasca, Rapid Rhymer, and then Caesar. Those immediate front 2 rows there. It's going to be an absolute dogfight into those first couple of corners. The Senna S's. Try to pronounce these corner names as good as I can. Obviously, I'm not Portuguese. I do not spend any time around people of Portuguese descent. If I have any pronunciations here, it's strictly from what Google Translate tells me, so I apologize for that in advance if that's not correct, but that's what I have. King Pro Player making his way in towards the pit straight here, the starting grid. He'll line up on the outside on the way into the Senna S's, which will not help him initially, but once he gets in towards Curva do Sol, he may have the... well, no, that will help him in the first phase of the corner. That's not going to help him. The second phase, it probably will. He'll have that inside through 2, and then through turn 3, Curva do Sol. If he's not gotten around Ayahuasca by then, that one's going to be very difficult. But you can see the grid trying to stagger as much as they can. on the grid here. And here we are then. Lights turning on for the second time this season. King Pro player, will he get away good enough? Will Ayahuasca take him into the corner? Well, we'll find out here. I think Ayahuasca has gotten a pretty good start. He's already wheel to wheel with King Pro player. Look at Reimer around the outside. Oh, what a start from the McLaren. He's done it so well around the outside. He's taken both Ayahuasca and King Pro player. Oh my goodness, it was like an RKO out of nowhere. He's just done it, and it's happened immediately. And he's gotten a hell of a lead here, as Caesar losing spots now. And eventually, as we move our way back, the grid is going to start to try to fan out into the corner. We do have Granny and Ronnie side by side, and the Aston Martin's going to be pushed just a little bit wide. Nothing too much here as they make their way in through Ferradura, up into Laringina, coming up here of Turn 7. Turn 8, which doesn't have a name, but in towards the Pine Tree Pinarino. Turn number 9, and then in towards, well, my favorite, Bico de Pato, the Duck's Beak corner here of Turn 10. And it looks as if everybody's gotten all right for the time being. Mergulio, the dive of Turn 11 in towards Junsao, the junction of Turn 12, 13, which doesn't have a name, 14 obviously doesn't have really a name either. There's your strategy, 15 to 17 soft to the mediums, 17 to 26 mediums to hards. Those are two very differing tire strategies there, as we do have Charlie Golf and Cam Tizzle side by side. Not the Aston Martin, the Sauber is going to do well there to outbreak, but he's going to push a little bit deep into the corner. Cam Tizzle's got to take a lot of curb there, and he's actually somewhat gotten away with it. But who hasn't gotten away with it is the Alpine of Ronnie, who seems to have gotten out of shape there. He's gotten it back going all right, it seems. We do have a couple guys into the pit lane here replacing early front wings, as we do have Charlie Golf and Cam Tizzle side by side through Dolago, and then up the hill looking for Ferradura they go, and Cam Tizzle's going to sort that one out on his own. He's up to 6th. End of the first lap now, Rapid Reimer up 2 spots. Monster and Jacob actually battling it out now, going through Ferradura and Laringina, and it looks as if Jacob has gotten the better of him now. Jacob only up to 1 spot. Monster up 3. Gasway up 5. JC Autolabs up 5 as well. So a lot of moving at the back end of the pack. Let's see if potentially our leaders can make some moves going on here. Well, Reimer's going to lead Ayahuasca out of those final couple sets of corners there. I'm just curious to see. Well, they're both on the medium tires. DRS obviously would have been activated by this point, and they will have it now. Heading in towards the center S's. Now, look how wide Ayahuasca wants to take the way into that corner. It's not really done anything for him, but, you know, still. And then through Curva do Sol now. He's going to take the curb all the way nearly around the inside, which we do sometimes see drivers do, but it is difficult. Those sets of curbs will send you for a spin. As Granny's going to pick up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as our first wrongdoer of the session, I suppose. Got a good battle going on here. Jacob's going to try to look to the inside of Granny. Oh, and I don't know what happened there. I think maybe it was just contact or something. That was, Jacob got well out of shape, but he's caught it. Yeah, he doesn't appear to be missing any front wing. Yeah, I don't really know what just happened there. That was a very sudden movement then by Jacob, and now it looks as if we do have JCR Labs and Ronnie side by side in towards the Duck's Beak corner. McLaren round the outside, trying to hold it now into the dive of Mergulio. Or it's Mergulio? I think that's, I don't even know. Not the point. Anyways, what we do have is Reimer now under pressure from Ayahuasca. 0.2 of a second, and down to the inside goes the V-Carb, and he will take the, at least lead of the Grand Prix for now, potentially. We get to the detection point, which is now, and it looks as if Reimer's going to have this one. Potentially. If he gets away well enough, and oh, he's going to get right up along the back end of the V-Carb then. Heading in towards Dolago, and he's dispatched of him rather easily then. We do also have battling Taylor McKenzie and Charlie Gulf. We've had such a good opening start to this Grand Prix, I forgot to even crack open the cold one with the boys. How can I possibly forget to do that? Our drinking league has a racing problem. Anyways, we do have Jacob potentially. Well, I thought he was going to have a look to the inside of Granny, then hasn't quite done it. Jacob currently sitting in 11th. Not a big fan of 11th place if you missed the Mexico stream. Sorry. Anyway. Reimer now under pressure from Ayahuasca again. It looks here Ayahuasca is going to have his way with him to the inside. Goes the V-Carb in question. What I will say is this King Pro player is falling behind quite significantly now. As, Ayahuasca's pushed a little bit wide there for the first phase of the Senna S. Reimer's going to get another good getaway here out of Curva del Sol, and I believe he's going to have this one by the time they get to Interlagos. He's going to try the outside this time. DRS activated, of course, for the McLaren, and yep, he's got that one. Once again, making it look slightly easy. We have as well to the back. Jacob and Yo My Monster battling it out now. It looks as if the Red Bull has gotten around the Williams at some point. Oh, and several of them are going to go wide now. And side by side they go to the inside of the Red Bull. And, well, he is going to get past Monster in the Red Bull here. That one was quite good there from Jacob. Saw his opportunity when it was present and took it. And now with the aid of a little bit of contact, he'll try to go around the outside of Granny through the Pine Tree corner and in towards the Duck's Peak. I'm going to try to stay to the inside, and Granny pushing wide, whether that was by design to give Jacob the space or not, I'm not too sure. Through the dive in towards the junction, and it looks as, I tell you what, Jacob's nearly missed his braking point then, as Monster, I think Monster wanted to have a look there. By the way, we're missing another change for the lead. We'll join that one in a minute. There's way too much going on to not only be watching one battle, that's for sure. And that time, it has to be said, I think they've got away dead on balls even there. Exiting Curva del Sol. I do not believe Reimer's going to have the opportunity this time. Or he's going to try it. Maybe not. No. Oh, he's... Yeah, I think he is. No, I don't know. This is difficult here because he's almost too far away to not take it, but he's too close. Or vice versa. He's too close to not take it, but too far away to really commit to it, as we do have a yellow flag, and it looks as if Caesar... Oh, no, Caesar's gone around somewhere along the line, and he's been shuffled down the grid here. I tell you what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars all in kind of a tight bunch here. We're going to be looking at some good battling, and it looks as if Jacob has gotten around Granny. Oh, Granny appears to have some wing damage. Yes, he does. The end plate on the left side of his front wing has gone AWOL in this one. And in towards Pico de Pazzo, in through Mergulio now. He's not going to be close enough, I assume. This is really just the aid of the DRS train happening now, as once again, we'll go down the pit straight. This time, Reimer was not able to get within striking distance of Ayahuasca. As it turns out, we do still have King Pro Player trying to work his way into this battle as well. DRS could be enabled, as we do have Granny and Jacob once more. These two swapping positions. I want to say Granny has dove underneath the Williams this time, and it looks as if Jacob's going to try potentially with some DRS down the straight now. Oh, look at this. The Alpine of Ronnie down to the inside. He's going to get both of them now. That's a good move. Oh, but will he outbrake himself here? No, he's done that well. Oh, and some contact behind Jacob. Oh, and he's into the barriers. If he's missing end plate on the left side, well, if he's not, he'll be considered lucky. Yeah, he definitely is. That was a really weird incident there, because Ronnie was definitely clear of both Granny and Jacob. I think, I don't really know why Granny and Jacob got tangled up exiting the corner there. That was slightly an odd one, I'll be honest with you. Nothing really telling me as to why those two made contact other than driver error. So the lead is currently 8.5 tenths of a second between Ayahuasca and Rapid Reimer. Once again, King Pro Player trying to insert himself in this battle as well. As we do have again, this is now Granny and Ronnie. We've got Gasboy and Caesar. Oh, look at them all bunched up here. Looks as if Granny has dispatched of the Alpine. Jacob is, well, he stayed out on track despite the wing damage, as you can see. Although what I will say is that Granny is staying relatively competitive, at least with those around him. I think he's definitely going to be losing a spot now to Ronnie. That part has absolutely happened, and not only that, he's lost about 7 seconds back to his Aston Martin teammate of Slayer Eyes, actually. As we do have going on behind Caesar, and who's that? That's Gasboy. Round the outside, looking Caesar up through. He's gone off track there, I think, realistically. Yep, Gasboy's going to take that one back. Through Peterino now, and it looks as if Caesar's at least gotten around them. Gasboy and Jacob now side by side. A little bit of contact there. Gasboy's going to pick up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. He's done that on the inside of the corner. I think that was really after the contact, as King Pro Player is dispatched of Rapid Reimer, then up to second. As we do have the Haas of Cam Tizzle going around the outside of Charlie Gulf. Side by side they go through the Senna S's as Granny and Ronnie once more finding some battles then. Side by side still. Charlie Gulf to the inside of Cam Tizzle. Look at this, wheel to wheel they go, and I think only just as Charlie Gulf can have an advantage here. Cam Tissel's actually going to be first on the brakes, but he's slightly hesitated, and Charlie Gulf now has to try to fend off both the Haas cars behind him. As Granny is going to tuck in behind Ronnie, as the Alpine does make another overtake then. Some good battling going on. Already about to enter our 10th lap of the Grand Prix. Only just the 1 or 2 yellow flags that we've had. Still have all 19 competitors on the grid. We are going to see, I think, again... Oh, this is going to be... this is Cam Tissel. Maybe will he have a look at Charlie Gulf here around the outside, heading into Jun Sao? Not quite. But if he gets on the throttle well enough, I think he'll have that look. Taylor McKenzie entering this battle as well. Potentially Cam Tissel is going to allow Taylor McKenzie to maybe have a good look with the DRS activated yet, because Taylor McKenzie's going to have it. He'll get at least Charlie Gulf. Oh, he's going to be just about 100 meters shy of being able to have his teammate as well, as Charlie Gulf's going to still try it around the outside. Taylor McKenzie, oh, well, you can see there, Taylor was trying... He was slightly hesitant going side by side through the 10S's. You saw him take a lot of the inside. Actually, he's gone over the white line, going through the second phase of that corner, more or less just trying his best to give Charlie as much space as he possibly could, which he's done. And I'm afraid in trying to get back on the circuit, they've also collided in the process. So, yeah, he's rather been shuffled out then. But, you know, it's difficult being a driver and you know, trying to be respectful as well. Because you know that there's cars around you. You know that any sort of mistake from you could impact their race. And, you know, the last thing you want to get slapped with is a steward report after. But if you're too cautious of that, you get in the same amount of trouble anyways. As Monster's going to... Whoa, he's really going to send it here on Granny. Looks more like NASCAR going on right now as both Granny and Monster get... Well, they kind of more or less shove themselves off the circuit here, as we do have another yellow flag as Granny gets back out on track, down in 14th now. Well, that one is really not gone to plan for anyone involved, except maybe Gatillo. Oh, and Jacob as well. Jacob now trying potentially the outside of Yo My Monster. Let's see. They both got DRS to Caesar here. Caesar's going to camp that outside line. He'll switch to the in. Jacob now... We'll check with that battle in a minute. We do have a good one going on here between Cam Tissel and Charlie Gulf. It looks as if the Haas is going to sort that one out by the time they get up through Larangina Ferradura and in towards Pinarino. Ayahuasca does lead. He's made a slight error there, coming off the curbs of the exit of Jun Shao, and now I believe King Pro player is going to have a good amount of DRS here and look to get round, and Reimer potentially in that look as well. DRS activated down the pit straight they go, heading in the Senna S's. Ayahuasca is not challenged this time. King Pro player, I will say, is holding on quite well, and I think those hard tires are starting to come into the kind of premium operating window here. As to the inside, and he's going to be later on the brakes as well. Good overtake there from King Pro player. As into the pit lane goes both Monster, JC Auto Labs as well. Gatillo is right up against the back end of Caesar here. He's going to try it potentially around the outside. Yes, he will, and he's going to get that one rather easily, it seemed. So only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars have stopped yet. Remember, those medium tires will be about that, what did it say, 17 lap mark? It's really the question of those on the softs at the moment. Charlie Gulf potentially. Will he find the back end of Cam Tissel for that 5th spot? Of course, 6.5 seconds behind to the rest of the top 4s. We have a yellow flag, and Gatillo, I believe, is the one who's gone round. Yes, he has. That's exiting Bico de Pato. It doesn't appear that he's hit anything, other than maybe has trimmed some grass along the way. Well, he's gotten back going, and the track stays green. Although that's not helped him by any measure. Once again, back up to Charlie Gulf. He'll have a good look at Cam Tissel this time. Around the right side, down towards the Cita do Lago now, and it looks as if the Sauber's going to consolidate that one rather quickly. Well, he's Gone over the white line there, and now Cam Tizzle, I think, is going to have a good opportunity here. Around the outside through Ferradura, Larangina as well. Oh, is he going to stay with it? Oh, they're still wheel-to-wheel. This is brilliant. Oh, and that's a lot of contact. Well, Taylor McKenzie's going to sort himself out right there and slot him in between his teammate. And now the Sauber, which remains ahead, and I'm hoping that Cam Tizzle doesn't have wing damage there. It doesn't appear that he does, which is good news. Let's see now. Taylor McKenzie, will he have a look on Charlie Golf? He'll take the inside. Cam Tizzle will take the outside. Sorry, I accidentally cut away from the battle. And now the two Haas guys have both dispatched to the Sauber. Very nicely done there. Bit of a tag team effort, that, and they've made it look easy. Although Charlie Golf will still have DRS now as Jacob's going to pick up a tenner for speeding in the pit lane. Look at this. Oh, Cam Tizzle. Whoa, look at this. Charlie Golf. Will he get both of them? No, he's gone over the white line. Surely he'll have to give that spot back, and I guess he temporarily does, and he's going to be side by side with Cam Tizzle up the hill. Ferradura. Well, he has kept that spot. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, because he has gone wide. So we do have a yellow flag. A couple of cars have gone round, actually. Ferrari of El Capitan, I believe. Yes, he has. He's getting out of the way for the leading pack here. The battle for the top three has stayed relatively unchallenged here. King Pro Player has taken the lead and has now stayed with it. Cam Tizzle 0.2 of a second back to Charlie Golf, and it looks now around the outside, and it seems Cam Tizzle's going to do quite good. Yes, he will. Nicely done there. Slayer Eyes is going to be into the pit lane now. Driver on the soft tires, as we are just about halfway through this, what seems to be quickly moving along. Brazilian Grand Prix. On the outside looking Charlie Golf. Stays within the white line this time, still side by side. What? Explain to me how that Haas is ghosted at the moment. Has he left the session, Mackenzie? This is genuinely odd. I don't know. He hasn't left the session. Well, that was weird. Anyway. Yeah, that's an odd one. I don't really know what to make about that. Ayahuasca has gotten within about 0.5 of a second of King Pro Player here. Gazboy's going to pick up the 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. One of only our fourth driver of the day. Actually, I would say third for on-track penalties like that. Jacob did pick up his tenner for speeding in the pit lane. Gazboy has picked up twice of those penalties. Bit of a wiggle there from Taylor McKenzie. I'm not quite sure what that was, but the top three battling now. They've got about an 11.5-second advantage to that driver in fourth spot of Cam Tizzle. As Gatillo and Gab are going to battle it out there. As Gab's into the pit lane. Apologize for that. Here I am hoping for a good battle when instead it's just a car pitting and the other one not. But, you know. The line this time will be 20 laps to go here. But a very quick Grand Prix it's been so far. Only a few yellow flags. Well, there's another one. Who's that exiting the pit lane? I believe is that the Aston Martin then of Slayer. No, it's Granny. Something's happened there. He's going to get himself right behind that of Gazboy. Jacob and JC Autolabs, good battle here. Exiting Interlagos, potentially up the hill through Ferradura. He's kept it all right, but once again, the battle for the lead is now Ayahuasca to the inside. Reimer looking for it as well. Yeah, King Pro Player is going to fall behind. Again, he didn't have the DRS. So Reimer up to second, Ayahuasca back up to first. But King Pro Player is not out of this battle yet. So 1, 2, and 3 they go through Pinarino and up through Pico de Pato now. Ayahuasca seems to be, once again, pretty good in the straight line. I'm just wondering, we'll go along with these three here as we make our way. As Granny's going to pick up a tenner for speeding to the pit lane. 13 seconds of penalty. That's unfortunate. Down the pit straight they go. King Pro Player seems to be at, I would think, the disadvantage here. Reimer's pulling some good speed. Ayahuasca's doing just the same despite not having DRS. King Pro Player with DRS has actually lost about 1/10 of a second there to the top two. Is in the hard tires as well. I'm starting to wonder potentially. Well, initially we thought, as Reimer's going to make his way to the inside of Ayahuasca, initially we thought that the hard tires would have been better by now. I guess it's just not the case. As evidently King Pro Player is struggling to keep up with our top two. We're nearly into the back of Ayahuasca there. As Slayer Eye is going to get down the inside of Charlie Gulf up to the 8th spot, barring any penalties. We'll once again take into the battle for the lead. We've got the top three cars within about half a second of each other here. King Pro Player. I thought was going to have a look at Ayahuasca there, not quite. It appears we have Caesar and Gatillo swapping positions. Caesar's going to get around the Salver, as we also just saw, well, we didn't see, but Charlie Gulf has just gotten around Slayer Eyes as well. Oh, and King Pro Player, well, naturally he's going to stay out. He's on the hard tires as well, but the top two do pit now from the medium tires. Onto the hards for Reimer. Ayahuasca's going to be taking the hards as well, naturally. We'll join the battle of Slayer Eyes and Charlie Gulf here. The inside. Oh, well, I thought he was going to look for it. Not quite. Rejoining the track. Oh, Reimer's actually in a bit of traffic here. Ronnie on those medium tires, right around the outside. Yep, he's going to get that one. Ronnie, I think, had to really commit to the inside there of the corner, knowing that Reimer was really going to want to send it, and he has. Gab is now going to put himself the fastest lap for the time being, 109.794. As we do have Slayer Eyes looking for the back end of Charlie Gulf now. Not to mention, we do have Gazboy about 1/10 of a second behind JC Autolab. Let's see if the Alpine can make something happen. Oh, so we have a yellow flag. Anime Boy. Nope, somebody's gone around there. I'm not quite sure who it was. The yellow flag did happen. As Ronnie's going to lose at least a spot there as he makes his way in towards the pit lane. So King Pro Player stays out. He's got 13 seconds to Cam Tizzle. I think the move for the Haas guys here is they have to work together. They start battling each other and they lose even more time. Gazboy around the outside of JC Auto Labs. Yep, he's going to get that one. This Anime Boy's going to pick up a tenner for speeding in. Slayer Eyes about 1/4 of a second away from Charlie Gulf. Good looking battle this so far. And will potentially Slayer Eyes have a look on Charlie Gulf. I think realistically it's going to depend on how they get DRS here, how they exit these final couple of corners. That's final slow speed or medium speed at Junshao. And they're making their way down the pit straight now. Charlie Gulf. Slayer Eyes behind him. DRS activated. He's just not going to get there. Not this time. Although leaves himself about 0.6 of a second shy. Let's see if he gets it now. Making his way down towards Decido do Lago. And no, he's just not really gonna get close enough that time, I'm afraid. Taylor McKenzie 6.5 tenths of a second back to Cam Tizzle, and I'm thinking we're going to see at least one of the two Haas drivers pit this time. I feel like if we see both of them pit, that's really not going to help them. The double stacks never do work in this game. The only good double stack that happens is those burgers from Wendy's. And Cam Tizzle into the pit lane, and Taylor McKenzie, I think, doing the correct thing as well, staying out. And they're pulling some halfway decent pace, at least for the time being. Reimer on new tires. Holy crap, that was a big one. Well, Ayahuasca's gotten into the side of the spinning Dutchman there as they go into the inside part of the pit wall, and the safety car is out on track. Gatillo's going to pick up a drive-through penalty for speeding into the safety car here. I tell you who that's going to help is Taylor McKenzie. He's going to have not necessarily a free spot, like he's still probably going to lose spots to Reimer and King Pro Player and Ayahuasca as well. But goodness me, that is going to be a huge moment for him because Cam Tizzle, I mean, think of it this way, he's not going to be gaining any spots. Everybody ahead of him has already stopped, although Cam Tizzle, what's interesting here, has gone to the soft tires. Let's see. So McKenzie obviously going to pit. Reimer. Oh, Reimer's going to come in as well. This is crucial now because Reimer's already made his stop for the medium tires to hards. If he has another set of mediums going here, that is really going to help Reimer. I'm guaranteeing that's what he's doing. Maybe the softs if he's feeling dangerous. No, he will go back to the mediums. That is huge for Reimer. King Pro Player will stay out on track. That's a little bold. Of course, only one lap old mediums. Yeah, I tell you the truth, that's probably just the best option for him. Was already on the hards, back to the mediums. There's no see that sort of thing what that Reimer's just done there is not possible for a guy that started on the hard tires now in the mediums, unless King Pro Player was going to stop for the softs, which I think is a little too far away from the end of the Grand Prix to actually be, I think, a good tire to be on. I think he is just a little bit too much. And of course, we are going to spend a couple laps on a safety car here, but yeah, I think the softs were probably a mistake, if I'm honest with you. Although what I will say is this, a lot of the top 7 cars disagree with me there. Matter of fact, the majority of them. Rest of the top 10 on the mediums, aside from that of Slayerized, Ayahuasca, Taylor McKenzie, and Cam Tizzle. The rest on said medium tires. Gatillo's gone to hards. Take a look at the penalties here. Slayerized 3 seconds. Gatillo's a drive-through for speeding into the safety car. Gazboy at 6 seconds. Anime Boy at 10, which he's just served. And Capitan's going to pick up the yellow flag and be disqualified for ignoring the yellow flags here. After picking up a 10-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flags, he'll pull himself into the pit lane. Oh, as Gatillo's had a bit of a spin here. This under safety car. Well. I think we're going to have at least another 2 laps under the safety car here. Coming up on 10 laps to go, and I think this is... You know, I still think the softs are a mistake. I think the mediums are probably just going to be the better tire. Come that final stretch. I don't know. It's a difficult call, really. Because, I mean, if we look at the times these drivers were putting on the soft tires... I mean, they were good times, but, I mean, some of these guys were putting them on, obviously, only, like, 1 or 2 lap old tires. That doesn't tell me a lot about what these softs can do. I know they can stay out pretty long. Like, I think the recommended window was, what, 13 to 15 laps, something like that. So that's a good tire. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just thinking that by the time they get to the back end of the Grand Prix here, and these last 10 laps, I think it's just really going to be more of a hindrance than an advantage. Because at that point, the mediums will be working into their own. I mean, you got to think as well, that tire window for those mediums went to like the 17, 18 lap range. Yeah, that's a really difficult decision. Just glad I didn't have to make it. So we'll go ahead and assume, yep, oh, there it is. Huh. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. King Pro Player is in an interesting position here. Medium tires, surrounded by a couple of fellas on the softs. Ayahuasca in that mix as well, Slayerized. Oh, I tell you what, King Pro Player, very quick driver. He's going to have to get away well, because two drivers behind him in the softs is not usually going to be a good look here. What? Did Taylor McKenzie leave the session? That is a bold decision. I don't even know what that is. That just is heartbreaking to see that. King Pro Player has gotten away well. Cam Dizzle has not been able to match his start there. Rapid Rhymer is actually following in behind. 0.3 of a second now. Ayahuasca is not close enough to that battle to make a difference. Charlie Gulf trying to poke his head upwards as well. Rapid Rhymer may actually have a look at Cam Tizzle here, potentially going up through Ferradura. 0.2 of a second. And by the way, this time by will be at 10 laps to go, as Anime Boy and Gatillo are side by side. A little bit of contact there, as Natural trying to force your way through that section of the track. Very difficult, very narrow. Jacob, trying to go at it with JC Autolabs. A little bit of contact with the right rear tire of the McLaren. And now he's going to still try to stick it on the inside there. On that right side, a little bit later on the brakes. He'll poke it on the, well, he'll more or less park it on the inside of the apex there, and he'll keep that spot. Nicely done for Jacob. King Pro Player does lead by 1.5 seconds over Cam Tizzle. Rapid Rhymer third. No DRS yet, but they will get that going down in through, in towards Destino del Lago. So 10 laps to go now, as Gatillo, a couple of tenths behind Anime Boy. We'll go back with that in a minute. We do have this battle for second place as Rhymer to the inside, and he'll get that one quite easily. Side by side now, we've got Monster and Gazboy. Gazboy's going to try it around the outside of the Red Bull here. We'll have the inside up through Ferradura. I think the Red Bull has out. He's been a bit later on the brakes there. That's why he's held on to that one. Good defense. And Jacob trying to enter this fray as well. Now to the inside of Pinarino. He's able to hold it on Gazboy here to the outside of the Duck's Beak, Bigo de Pato. A lot of contact there. Still wheel to wheel. Through the dive and up through Junsao it goes. And oh, that's a big one. Yep. Gazboy has gotten, I think, well out of shape there. Exiting Junsao, he's gotten into JC Autolabs, and I think a couple of drivers are missing front wing there. Yep, JC is absolutely one of them. He was missing a good chunk of it as well. Gatillo appears to be missing some too. I don't believe that was necessarily the fault of Jacob, I mean, they were side by side. Jacob didn't make contact with him going through Junsao. Car just went wide and then spun across the remainder of the pack. Unfortunately, that sort of thing happens. Jacob's about 0.2 of a second here behind the Red Bull of Monster going into Bico de Pazzo, and he's unchallenged from his teammate of Anime Boy behind. So King Pro Player's got a second advantage over Reimer, but since Reimer's been able to get round Cam Tizzle, that gap is now starting to fall. Oh, Reimer will have DRS. Well, he's had that from getting around Cam Tizzle. And he's shaved off at least 0.4 of a second there, and we've got a straight-up dogfight here between these two guys, which, by the way, are teammates with each other in the Wednesday League of CCRL, who had a bit of a chaotic ending to their last Grand Prix. Ronnie way down to the inside. Look at him go. He's going to have to use all of the track there and does get round Slayerized only just. That was at Japan that. These two guys battled for the win on the final lap as teammates and got into it. Of course, all in good fun. They're well ahead of the championship table in that league as Reimer first, King Pro, I believe, second, but they lead constructors as well by miles. Jacob looking forward on Monster now. A bit of a dive to the inside there, but he's made it happen. Tell you what, Jacob is not afraid to make moves. And he's up to 9th, albeit does have a 3-second penalty. Up 3 spots on the day. Not sure how many of that is going to stay in his favor, but still an impressive display from him at least. Had a lot of action surrounding him. As we do have Charlie Golf and Ayahuasca. Charlie Golf's going to get around the V-carb then, and Reimer does get within 0.4 of a second, a King Pro Player. Still not close enough to make a genuine move happen. Couple of battles going on back there. Monster's going to get round Jacob. Jacob's going to try to sort himself back in this. 2 Williams versus 2 Red Bulls here. Might be interesting. Jacob into the back end of Monster. Actually, almost collects his teammate of Anime Boy there, just in kind of the accordion effect. Is Monster's going to push wide. Jacob now going to try it. He's not going to have the space quite yet. So King Pro Player leads Reimer only 0.6 of a second. Cam Tizzle falling behind in that battle. King Pro Player has it at least for now. Reimer will have DRS, and he's going to follow in behind Reimer on the medium tire. So it's even Stevens as far as that's concerned. But now Reimer looking to the inside. No, not quite. But hey, that's a lot for King Pro Player right there. Now knowing, oh, and he's got a 3-second time penalty. And just as I was about to admit that when you see a driver is hungry for a move behind you, it does force you into mistakes if you're focused on him. I think that's exactly what happened. Anime Boy has retired. They're side by side, and Reimer is only just going to get that spot. Anime Boy has lost it out of the first section of the Senna S's, I believe, very similar to how Carlos Sainz did it in qualifying on Sunday. And we got a safety car here coming to the line with 5 to go. And that is huge there for Reimer. He was maybe a couple of thou ahead of King Pro Player, able to take that spot. JC Auto Labs going to get a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Let's remind you, we are now within 5 laps to go of the end of this Grand Prix. Reimer does have position over King Pro Player. Cam Tizzle 3rd. Charlie Golf 4th. We'll once again remind you of the tires that these drivers find themselves on. Cam Tizzle, 10-lap-old. Softsy pit at the last safety car. Ayahuasca, 9-lap-old. Slayerized the softs as well. Everybody else on mediums. And again, I think those softs are just kind of a mistake. Because Cam Tizzle did not really make a huge... I'm not gonna say he didn't make a huge effort there in the beginning, but if you're going to put on the soft tires, you have to absolutely take the early opportunities as you get them, and he's really just not done that. I mean, he's third place. He'll get at least the spot over King Pro with the 3-second penalty after that's applied. He's going to have to defend from Charlie Gulf behind as well, who is on the medium tires, and that's going to be better here in the last 5 laps. Ayahuasca kind of there as well. It's difficult to say. 6 drivers currently reside with 3-second penalties to their name. Gasboy does have 2 of those stacked. I think we're going to wait at least one more lap here. We got about 4 or 5 cars still yet to catch up to the tail end of the queue. And yep, we'll be waiting another one here. So by the way, beginning the 33rd lap, this safety car will most likely be in lap 34. 34, 35, and 36. 3 laps of racing here to decide a winner in Sao Paulo. DRS will be enabled for the second and third lap of that. Realistically, this one's going to come down to the wire. I think what Reimer needs to do... Well, he's got to clear King Pro. Let's get away from... Let's just focus on that. He's got to stay ahead of King Pro player, because if he doesn't, that now puts him under threat from both Cam Tizzle, Charlie Gulf, Ayahuasca, and potentially even Ronnie behind him. Reimer's got a big job here because everybody in that top 5 absolutely has the pace to win this Grand Prix. And let's not forget, we got a couple of guys on the outside looking in. Ronnie, Caesar, Slayerized. I think could absolutely do it as well. All hell would probably need to break loose for them to, you know, make up that 6-7 positions. But hey, hell is there to be broken loose. Let's just realize that. We're just waiting for JC Autolabs to catch up to the queue. I have a feeling the safety car is not going to wait for him. As they make their way into Junsao. This is really difficult here. I think the safety car's got to come in, because there's the McLaren. Yep, safety car in this lap, so Reimer will have 3 laps to hold on to a win. Cam Tizzle will have 3 laps to steal one, potentially from Reimer. Reimer's going to probably wait until last minute here. Oh, he's still not gone yet. Still not gone yet. There's the line. Finally decides to do it. I will say, we talk about Reimer not really... oh, is there contact there between Charlie Gulf and Cam Tizzle? We talk about Reimer not really being, you know, one of the best drivers on race starts, but on safety car restarts, that guy is a wizard at knowing what to do every single time he gets into that position. He has waited as long as he possibly could. And for the record, for fairness, it has caught out the drivers behind him in surprise, at least for then. Because Reimer, what he's got now, King Pro player is all over his back end here. Pause. What he's got is, at least the difficult part of the lap is now, right? So King Pro player is most likely not going to make a pass on him here. Reimer can hold on for at least another lap. If he can make, you know, these final 2 laps of the Grand Prix mistake-free, he'll still win. Big news here is that Charlie Gulf and Cam Tizzle, these 2 guys are essentially battling for second place. Exiting Junsao they go. 2 laps to go at the line. Reimer does lead King Pro 4/10 of a second. DRS will not be activated until they make their way to Reta Oposta. Oposta? I don't know how it is, but this straight coming up here after Curva del Sol. King Pro player 3.5 of a second behind. Charlie Gulf in that picture as well. Let's not forget, Charlie Gulf on pace for second place. Oh, but look at this, King Pro player to the inside. Okay, so he has dispatched Reimer there. This is crucial now, because Charlie Gulf, all he's got to do is get around the McLaren, and he could be on for a win here. King Pro Player is most likely not going to be overtaken by Reimer through the second sector. Charlie Golf, if he gets a good exit out of Jun Sao, may just have his absolute best opportunity to get around Reimer and to win the Grand Prix. At the line this time will be the final lap, as Reimer still 2.5 tenths behind King Pro Player. Charlie Golf has got to nail the exit this corner. If he doesn't, he's probably just not going to take him. Oh, and I think he's gotten away pretty well. DRS obviously is going to be activated for Reimer and Charlie Golf alike. Cam Tizzle, I would say, out of contention at this point, but here goes the Sauber. Does he look for it? He may have it. Reimer's going to take the outside. Oh, and I tell you what, that is great work then from Reimer. He's done absolutely what he needed to do there. He took the outside of King Pro Player. Charlie Golf was not going to have enough room there on the inside heading into the Senna S's. That is a brilliant defensive move. Three-dimensional chess, 200 IQ play, whatever you want to call it. That was fantastic. And by the way, Charlie Golf needs a hell of a run now, exiting Jun Sao if he wants to win this Grand Prix. Fantastic move from Reimer. JC Autolabs and Gazboy battling out as well. Cam Tizzle, could he potentially find a way on Charlie Golf? Cam Tizzle on the softs appears to still have better grip going through the second sector, but it's all going to depend on the exit of this final corner here, this final medium to low speed quarter of Jun Sao. It looks as if Reimer is starting to walk away with this one. He's got 6.5 tenths of a second to the back of King Pro Player. It's going to take a mistake from Reimer, and that's just not going to be made. Reimer coming to the line now, out of the final corner, technically, I guess. I tell you what, well, he's had to fight for that one, but rapid Reimer, rapid he was to the line and will win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Charlie Golf, hell of an effort. Finishes second. Third is Cam Tizzle. Ronnie in fourth. Up 6 positions. Fantastic, fantastic day. That was a great Grand Prix there. It got very dicey at the end. And for Hotspot, it's been a pleasure joining you here. Be sure to join us next time out when we head to the Jeddah Corniche Circuit in Saudi Arabia for the third round of this, what seems to be very exciting Monkey Mafia season. We'll see you then.